This is my collection of external hard drives just for photos and videos. Yeah, that's a lot of hard drives. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 2 storage options you have to store all of your photos and videos and which one is best depending on your workload. So let's get to it. If you're new to this channel, I'm Desiree and I am a freelance videographer, and I teach you all of the tips and tricks on how to elevate your video and photo content on this channel. If you want to create better video and photo content, then consider subscribing to this channel. I have a problem, a hard drive problem. I just have so many of them in different sizes. Some are portable, some are desktop. I just have so many of them, but I didn't buy all of these at once. My collection has been growing over the last few years, and it's gotten a little worse in the last probably 2 to 3 years, where I used to go from buying maybe 1 external hard drive a year to buying 3 a year. I mean, this is where I keep all of my footage, all of my photos and project files. You don't want to keep all of those files on your computer because I've learned from past experiences, when your hard drive on your computer crashes, you lose everything. So this was started off as a backup option, but then I just started storing all of these files on hard drives, and then I started buying additional external hard drives to back up the other ones because I didn't want to lose any of my files. But having all of these external hard drives isn't the most effective way to store all of your past photos and videos and project files. First, I started off with these desktop versions, but then got a little bit crazy when I wanted to edit on the go. So I started to buy portable ones, which are all of these smaller ones, because I could just plug these directly into my laptop, where these desktop ones aren't really portable because you have to plug them not only into your computer, but also into a power outlet. But there are some pros to having external hard drives. First is that they're affordable. I've pretty much bought all of these on sale, and always places like Best Buy or Amazon are always putting these on sale, so you can always get a good deal on them. Second is that they're convenient. You can store everything in one central location. And when they're portable like these, they're even more convenient to take on the go. But there are some cons to having external hard drives. One is that you can't share the files that are on them between 2 computers. You have to plug in the hard drive to one computer and access them there or copy them there. If you want to have them on a second computer, you have to take it off the first one and plug it into the second one. So they're not meant to really share between computers. They could be lost, dropped, or stolen. So these, especially the small portable ones, you can lose them easily, especially if you're traveling. They can drop easily because if you're portable, you're not going to have a set location where you're working off of, and they can easily fall. Also, people steal them if you're not careful. Another con is that if the drive itself fails, you could lose all of the data that's on it. So you have to get another external hard drive and have it as a backup just to make sure you don't lose all of your hard drives. So then that's another hard drive you have to store somewhere. So over the years, as you start to upgrade your own video equipment, if you're getting better cameras, external monitors, any video equipment, you're gonna have to start upgrading your workflow. So I knew it was time that I needed to upgrade to an all-in-one solution instead of just continuing to buy more and more hard drives, which is why I have this NAS, which is a network attached storage. So the one I have is the Synology 1019 Plus. So as with the external hard drives, there are pros and cons to having a NAS system. So the first one is that the NAS can hold multiple drives like this one. This is a 5-bay unit, which means it could hold up to 5 hard drives at the same time and run all of them at the same time. Another pro is that it could back up the files you have on one hard drive here to the others. So the way you would set that up is you can either have it directly mirror one hard drive on another hard drive, or you can have it create smaller backups throughout all of the hard drives. And having multiple hard drives creates redundancy, which means that your data is safer, and in the event if one of these drives fails, it always backs up your files so you can always recover them. Another pro for the NAS is that I can connect to this to my router and access the files on them remotely. which is great because if I need to access files from my laptop, I don't have to plug this into my laptop and then take them out and then plug it into my iMac if I want to access them there. I can access them from either computer just through the network. Another pro is that I can grant access to users to this so they can access any files that they may need. So instead of looking for a website to upload those files to transfer it to them or to transfer it onto an external hard drive or a flash drive, I could give them access to the folder that they need and they can just download the files they need from there, and I don't have to upload it onto some other server to then send it to them. Another pro is that it's private. I own this. It's not being uploaded to a cloud storage where some other company owns the servers that they're living on. This is all owned by me, and I could give access if I want to or not. Another pro is that you can add more hard drives later on. Right now I only have 2, but since I have a 5-bay unit, I could add up to 3 more hard drives. And I can always add bigger capacity hard drives to it. So this is definitely going to grow with my workflow as opposed to having all of these hard drives. This just sits on my desk and I know all of my hard drive and all of my data is in this one space. Another pro is that once you buy this unit, you own it and you don't have to pay any monthly fees to anyone. It's not like cloud storage sites that you have to pay a monthly fee to have more hard drive space. The only other thing you would have to buy is more hard drives, but that's totally up to you when you need to do that. It's not like you have to pay for that on a monthly basis. So definitely in the long run, this comes out cheaper than if you were to go with a cloud solution. So another pro is that you can read and write files to it even if your main computer is off. So unlike hard drives where you can only access it when your computer is on and running, so I could log on to a web app and access the files through it, basically through my phone, through an iPad. I don't need to have any of my computers on. Or I could use someone else's computer and still access those files. Another pro is that it has cross-platform access, which means if you have a Mac or a PC, you can still access the files on it. So if I work off of a Mac, but then I want to access them on a PC, I could easily do that without a problem. And the last pro is that the software the NAS runs off of is really easy to use. I mean, the interface looks just like a Windows interface, so it's very easy to navigate through it. So here are some of the cons to having a NAS. First of all, this is much more expensive than buying an external hard drive. And you have to note that when you do buy a NAS, you're not purchasing the hard drives as well. You have to purchase those separately. You're just paying for the unit itself, which is kind of like a mini computer. Since it's always on, it runs on its own and it has its own software. So it's like you're paying for your computer and then you have to buy the hard drives to it separately. Another con is that the hard drives for these are also much more expensive than an external hard drive. So the 2 6TB hard drives I bought for this unit were $200 each. And that was considered one of the cheaper ones. So for maybe a 10 terabyte hard drive, it's gonna be about $300 or $400 per hard drive. So it is more expensive to buy right off the bat, but I do consider it as an investment since I've bought all of these hard drives and some of them were under $100, some of them were a little bit more. So you kind of have to see how much you're already paying for external hard drives to see if a solution like this is worth getting. So another con is that you're limited by the speed of the cable that's connected from this unit to your router. It's usually a 1 gigabit connection speed, which is basically good for accessing the files and maybe copying and pasting them. I wouldn't recommend editing video off of this. I would recommend it more as a backup solution because of that speed can limit you and you can really just go a little crazy trying to edit off of this when the speed isn't up to par of what you need it to be to continue editing. But like any other computer, you can upgrade it to accept a faster connection. So if you have a 10 gigabit connection, you can actually edit videos from this over the network. But if it's just a 1 gigabit connection, I would not recommend editing through the network on this. Just edit on a local hard drive or an external hard drive and then copy all of that data back onto this as a backup. So the last con is that it's not as easy to set up. Unlike a external hard drive where it's just a plug and play solution, this requires a little bit more setup. You will have to first set up the software, have it connect to the internet, have the hard drive set up and formatted, which can take some time. So the initial setup does take a while to do, but once you're up and running, it is much more manageable. So now I keep all of my completed YouTube videos from this channel and my other channel, as well as client projects and backed up project files, all on this solution. So I don't have to now search as I used to throughout all of these hard drives. Everything is here and easily accessible. So should you consider getting a NAS or getting an external hard drive? It depends on a few things. First is, what level of content creator are you? Are you just starting out, or have you been doing this for a while now? If you're just starting out, definitely get an external hard drive. It's so much cheaper than a NAS, and you can also see if you're going to continue creating a lot of content. If you decide, oh, I'm just not going to take that many pictures or photos, an external hard drive is plenty of space for you to store all of those videos and photos. But as you continue to learn more about how to create content and you start making more content, then you can assess how much storage you need, if you should consider buying external hard drives, because a few external hard drives is not gonna really hurt your budget. But I do recommend getting the bigger size ones, especially if you're doing video. Start getting 4 to 5 terabyte external hard drives, because those could hold a lot more. And then you also may have to consider about buying several hard drives at a time. So you would just buy maybe 2 hard drives of the same capacity, so you can use one as a backup to the other. So in the event your main hard drive crashes, you can still have a backup solution and you won't lose any of your files. But as you start doing more projects or creating more videos and photos, you would then need to assess how much storage you're going to be using, and if maybe getting a NAS would be more ideal than just buying more and more external hard drives. But if you are a more advanced video editor or photographer, and especially if you do a lot of client work or you create a lot of videos, I would recommend getting the NAS, because this holds so much more. And it's great if you're also working with a team, because several people would need to access the same files and you don't have to worry about sharing an external hard drive between everyone trying to get those files. It's just easily accessible through the network. What is your current storage solution, and what kind of files do you store on them? Is it photos? Is it videos? A combination of both? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video useful, please give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel for more tech-related videos like this. And hit the bell to get notified when I post new videos. And if you're not following me on social media, please follow me at I am Desiree Rodriguez on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.